All right, today we're going to take a trip, a journey through what might just be Bob Dylan's most ambitious, most bewildering masterpiece. We're going to take a walk down Desolation Row.
So right away, this song doesn't exactly ease you in, does it? It just throws you headfirst into a world that is immediately and fundamentally wrong. I mean, think about that. Postcards of the hanging. People are selling souvenirs of an execution. And painting the passports brown, that's about erasing identity. The very first line is basically a giant warning sign telling you, hey, forget everything you know, normal rules do not apply here.
Lines like that just smack you with one central question, right? Where on earth are we? So let's try to map this strange and absolutely fascinating landscape together. Okay, our first stop is the street itself. And honestly, you should think of it as a carnival where all the rules have just been thrown out the window. It's a place of total social and moral collapse. Dylan builds this atmosphere by just misplacing everything. It's brilliant, really. You have sailors just wandering into a beauty parlor. The commissioner, the symbol of authority, he's blind and in a trance, completely helpless. And meanwhile, the riot squad is just restless, waiting for violence to erupt. It's this perfect picture of a society right on the verge of imploding.
And the chaos of this place, it's reflected in the people who live there. It's like this parade of misfits. We're about to meet a lot of figures from fairy tales, literature, and history, faces we know. But here, they're all broken.
Just take Cinderella, for example. The fairy tale princess we all know, yeah, she's gone. In her place is this hardened, cynical figure. And the detail here, it's just devastating. The whole happily ever after is replaced by the sound of ambulances, and her job is just to sweep up the mess afterwards. The magic is completely gone, and all that's left is this grim, grim reality.
And she's not alone. Romeo shows up and is basically told he's in the wrong place. These cultural icons, these symbols of love and fantasy, they are totally powerless here. They're stripped of their meaning, and they're just as lost as everyone else.
Ophelia from Hamlet is another really powerful example. Instead of just a tragic victim, Dylan recasts her as someone who's trapped inside her own story. That line, "her sin is her lifelessness," is incredible. It's like she's paralyzed, just peeking out at Desolation Row, but totally unable to actually live. It's a stunning psychological portrait.
But believe it or not, the cast gets even bigger. We're moving beyond just literary characters. Dylan throws in some of the most famous figures from history, from science, from the Bible, and puts them all on the exact same chaotic street corner.
The combinations are just incredible. So get this, up in the Captain's Tower, you have two of the 20th century's most famous poets, Ezra Pound and T.S. Eliot, having this big intellectual fight. Meanwhile, down on the street below them, Cain and Abel, the original story of murder. You've got the height of civilization clashing with the dawn of human violence, all at once. And then we get what might be the single most bizarre and memorable image in the entire song. Albert Einstein, the very symbol of human genius, is here disguised as Robin Hood, carrying his memories in a trunk. And he's sniffing drain pipes and reciting the alphabet? I mean, what is even happening? So you have to ask, why do this? Why degrade him like this? Well, in the world of Desolation Row, being a genius doesn't save you. In fact, it seems to be a burden. Einstein's incredible mind is totally useless here. He's forced all the way back to first principles, sniffing drain pipes and reciting the ABCs, the most basic form of knowledge, because everything else has completely failed.
This brings us to the forces of authority in this world. And if you thought things couldn't get any more dystopian, you're in for a shock. Because here, knowledge itself is a crime.
And there it is. This reveals an active, organized force that's out there hunting down intelligent people. It's a systematic purge of anyone who sees through the chaos, anyone who knows more than they do. This is the organized power that's lurking behind all that seeming randomness. And what happens to these people once they're rounded up? They're taken to a factory and strapped to the heart attack machine. It's such a chillingly industrial and impersonal image of punishment, isn't it? It sounds like it's designed to destroy not just your body, but your mind and spirit too. The real horror here is how bureaucratic it all is. It's this cold, calculated process. Step 1, round him up. Step 2, bring him to the factory. Step 3, strap him to the machine. And then Step 4, insurance men make sure there's no escape.
This isn't passionate evil, this is inescapable, systematic control. So after this grand tour of sweeping, surreal social commentary, the final verse comes along and changes everything. The perspective shifts dramatically from this chaotic parade to a single personal letter. And suddenly, the narrator, who's been our tour guide this whole time, is speaking directly to someone. The tone just flips from observation to personal confession. And that question, when you asked how I was doing, was that some kind of joke? Wow, you can just feel the exhaustion and pain of someone who's actually living in the world they've just described.
We realize he isn't just a visitor here, he's a resident. He knows all these people. But his next lines reveal an even more profound, even deeper connection to this place. And here it is, the final layer of the song. The narrator isn't just a resident, he's the creator, he's the artist. He's confessing that this entire surreal world is his own construction. It's an act of artistic survival. He took real people and experiences from a world that made no sense, and he had to rearrange their faces just to process it all, turning pain and chaos into the very art we've just experienced. This is the final, heartbreaking declaration. He's telling his friend and he's telling us that he is so deep inside this perspective, this reality, that he can't communicate with the outside world anymore. The only way to reach him is to enter this world yourself. There is no escape.
Which, of course, leaves us with the ultimate question. Is Desolation Row a real place, a commentary on a broken society, or is it an internal landscape, the state of mind of an artist processing an absurd and insane world? Perhaps it's both. The only way to truly know for sure is to go listen for yourself.